Good evening everyone and welcome to Nine's Wide World of Sport to night one of the Foundation Cup competition for season 1991. The two games tonight, two very interesting games. North Adelaide playing Sturt in the early game. That game is already underway, and of course the late game should be a beauty, a replay of last year's grand final, Port Adelaide versus Glenelg. But at half time here in the early game, North Adelaide 7-6. Lead Sturt 2-9. With me now, Rick Davies, and a pretty impressive first half by North Adelaide. Rick?
Yes, they certainly were, Ken. Big man strength. They got big DITTMAR from Port Adelaide.
Impressive?
Yes, very impressive at full forward. Big Parsons at centre half forwards, just marking everything. And of course Bennett coming back from the Crows in the forward pocket. And that's just about enough to put the Blues out of business.
Okay, Sturt not impressive in the first half?
Well, they came back into that last quarter with a couple of goals. 2-9, Ken, so it's been a little bit of bad kicking, but I think they'll be back in it.
Okay, let's take you to your commentator, Ian Day. There's a score at half-time.
Thanks, KG. 7-6 to 2-9. When you look at it, 13 scoring shots to 11. But North seem to be far more superior on the turf at the moment. And when you have a look through their team, they've got many experienced players, whereas Sturt is certainly shy in that respect. But you'll see the dominator, Wayne Johnson, playing pretty well on the half-forward line. He's got a goal to his name as the game progresses. 7-6 to 2-9, start of the second quarter. At the centre bounce, it'll be Leanett against Michael Redden, who's already sporting a big cut across the left eye. At the bounce, up goes Leanett. Redden gets the tap away. Sanders can't get the kick away. They work hard for the ball. In there is young Josh Mail. He can't get it out, and the umpire will ball it up once more. Graham Schutz and David Weston are doing the honours in the umpiring fraternity tonight. And obviously, North Adelaide is kicking to the left of your screen. Sturt to the golf course end. Leanett gets up nicely, back to McWilliam, looking pretty slender. The ball goes to the half-forward line. Michael Redden slips it back in now. Plenty of time to have a look is Jason Rowe having his first run for the afternoon, and Trevor Sims. It's nice to see Stephen Sims. It's nice to see him running more freely. If you can recall the North Rover in last year's grand final, he almost looked a tragic figure trying to limp his way to the ball. In defence, it's Leanett. Leanett now from centre half back to send the Blues out of defence.
Certainly needs to get into the game, Brett Leanett. He had a pretty lean first half. He kicks the ball wide. Darren Bauer takes the ball from half-back flank toward the centre wing area. Players set themselves. Johnson was in there waiting for the ball to come out. It didn't. Peter Walensky used his body well and got the free kick.
Well, that's typical, Brian, of what we were mentioning before about they're going to have to earn their free kicks. Now, that he didn't even touch that.
I agree. The kick in and the mark taken strongly at centre half forward. Brett Sanderson, young fellow, only 17 years of age, and he impressed in the first half. He's a guy to watch. 8th kick to Sanderson, puts the ball long and deep into the full forward area. All North Adelaide always going to be big Mick Redden. The handball out wide. Saliba goes short. He's used the ball well, and Tasker has had plenty of work to do at half back for North Adelaide this evening. Puts the ball toward the centre wing area. Steaming for it was Big Parsons. Leanett has taken the mark. He is coming into the play. Bauer, Painter, left foot, accurate, always hits the mark and finds a player. David Walk on left half forward flank. So the Blues are looking better in the early part of this third quarter. The kick in, big Reynolds is in front, and that's the first time that Trenordan's been beaten this evening. Yes,
it's a very, very good mark, and it's interesting when you look on these players, Tasker, Bennett, coming back from the Crows. I know that that Reynolds as Big Bennett has made up his mind to go back to North, but it's interesting that Michael Noonan's going to sort of play them, isn't it?
Surely is, but I guess Mike Noonan is treating it very much as a trial. He was pretty jovial before the game. 1 goal already to David Reynolds. The kick is true. That's his second.
Great kick by David Reynolds. 2 kicks, 2 goals. In the second quarter, he kicked a massive goal. I would think it's over 65 metres. He marked it outside centre half forward. Head on to goal, but it was a huge kick from the big fellow. On that occasion, you can see him on an angle, threaded it through his second goal.
Welcome back to Football Park, and plenty of heavy work in the centre. The kick is high. The thump away attempted by Saliba. And the umpire hasn't made a decision. Yes, he has now. I thought the player was held. It'll be a free kick on the far side. Peter Bennett is the player to receive that free kick, and he's played well. for the Roosters. He goes in long and deep toward the centre half forward area. Parsons, using his body well, taps it out, gives the opportunity. Peter Bubner, playing Guernsey number 34 for the Blues tonight, dispossessed. The kick forward by Sanders down toward the full forward area. Back there, Sturt, plenty of players should get out of it. They do through McWilliam. He goes wide, and the opportunity for Sturt through Tony Graham. Short toward Leanett, his third touch in this third quarter. The handball away wasn't as good as he'd like. Bastian has had to work hard for that. Sanders says thank you very much. The handball came across, and again Sturt get out of it. Well done by Graham. Got it across to Leanett, and back he goes. Tony Graham, the former North Melbourne reserves player, down toward the half-forward area. Rowe taps it out. Again, Big Mick Redden does it well. Bradley Ryan across. Peter Turner. Tim Noonan for his first touch of the game, the son of the coach. Gets it out. Saliba back to Noonan again. Has got to get rid of the ball. Finds Marshall, and he breaks through the centre. North Adelaide, this is more like their first half, as he puts it deep into the forward area, and the mark taken by Michael DITTMAR. And DITTMAR has 2 goals to his credit. He's worked well at full forward, a former Port Adelaide reserves player, and I think he may have had a league game or 2 with Port Adelaide in his time as well. And a bit of controversy about his move to North Adelaide, which he attempted last year. It's his third kick, a left footer. It's a powerful kick, but offline, and 1 point to Michael DITTMAR.
Bit of bad luck there for the big fellow, coming over from the Alberton boys, and he's looked pretty good up forward. He's moved around, he's tried to make front spot. He hasn't been able to take a couple of marks that Peter Reid's been on top, but he certainly looks the goods up forward.
Big leap by Redden. Leanett's going to win the free kick on the half-back line, as Bucky told you. He's starting to get into the game. Slips it out to Bow. The running par, McWilliam. He fires it out wide. Walk at centre wing. Can't bring it back in. Getting back on it is Turner for Sturt. Walk, they left it behind. Saunders farms it out. Turner back in the action again. Oh, high tackle on Klomp. The umpire's going to rule that way and give him a free kick at centre wing. Oop, almost off before acceptances. Kim Klomp. Check side of centre wing, centres the ball towards the half-forward line, looking up there for Parsons. Sims through, gets the set, heads for goal, puts it on its way. That is home. A great goal to Sims, his second, and North Adelaide have got 8 on the board.
Stephen Sims is looking particularly good this evening. He's got pace. That's what he didn't have last year. He was dogged by injury, and that long stride indicates that he is at full strength this year in terms of running power and in terms of injury. And he banged that one through from about 45 metres out. His confidence is up, and of course he's a player in contention for the captaincy.
8-7 to 3-9. 6 minutes into the second half. All quarters, 20 minutes plus time on this evening. At the bounce, Leanett gets favoured, hooks it back to Painter. In there quickly now is Bennett, farms it out, couldn't find Redden. Quickly in now Sanderson, a promising player, around on the left foot towards the half-forward line. Shrugging the tackle is Field, wearing number 18 this year. We're normally used to seeing him in number 6. Up goes Argus, going through the pack now. Painter, back now to Bastian. Bastian gave that one like a new brick. Oh, lost it. Josh May through. Heavy tackling going on, and the free kick will go on the half-back line to Tim Noonan. Geez, like his father, he's not carrying a huge amount of weight, I can tell you. And there's the man who's played as well as anybody on the ground, Mark Marshall. On the half-back line, edges the ball back towards the half-forward line with kick number 10. Bennett not far behind Marshall on the left leg. Obviously very, very fit indeed after his stint with the Crows. Drives it in. DITTMAR on the lead, so casual, and he's got the ball at the 50-metre mark.
Makes a bit of difference in when you can get the ball across that half-forward line, or especially the half-back line, and fire the ball in, and you've got big Michael DITTMAR moving around. It certainly makes the forwards' job a bit easier.
He'll kick from the 50-metre mark. He's already got 2. Very casual with his approach to the ball. He kicks well, and he kicks truly. Goal number 3. Fine performance.
Certainly is, and the big fella from, we mentioned, came over from Port Adelaide, and you can see here on your screen, big Peter Bennett, coming back from the Crows, looks up forward, and I've been mentioning it all night. They don't waste too many balls when they go forward, and big Michael DITTMAR, being just inside the 50-metre line, goes back, and as Ian said, lazy big action, but right through the centre.
The margin is 34 points in favour of North Adelaide. Looking good early in this third quarter. Back in the centre, umpire Graham Schutz, joined by David Weston this evening, puts the ball down. Redden with his the second bite at it, taps it out, but gives the opportunity only for Bauer. He's caught with it, has the handball away. Bennett a little slow, but got it back to Redden. That's quick to Marshall. Across looking for Turner. He breaks through half forward, looks good, puts the eyes and straight toward Michael Dittmar. Just lifted, had a look, saw the player coming, and that is great work from young Peter Turner.
He looks like he's going to be a real star, Brian, because he's come off the half-back flank. He's nippy enough to be a forward, but he just drives through the centre and just picked Michael Dittmar going on the wrong side, and look at him putting it through.
Left footer, he's got a goal in each of the quarters. Now he's got his third.
Well, I thought that North Adelaide, after Big Lynn, it started in the centre, starting to get on top of Redden, especially in this quarter. But as you can see, young Turner I mentioned, and there he is, big Michael Dittmar, probably 15 metres in front of Peter Reid. And he makes no mistake, firstly with the mark on the chest, and secondly with a shot for goal.
North Adelaide edging away again. They lead by 40 points. Ball at centre wing. Farmed out now towards Sanderson. Back in defence there is Anthony Graham, doing pretty well. Painter wants it, can't get it. Sims on the left leg. North into attack again. Peter Bennett playing a fine game now. Out wide Saliba, well read. McWilliam gives it away now to Bubner. Shrugs the tackle. Needs support. Gets it out wide. Sanderson again, half forward line. May under pressure. Hooks it back to his half forward line. Back in defence, it's Redden. Lost it. Well done, Mail. Gets it across Tasker. Sims. North Adelaide start to run into a snooker there. Sims again. Butters up. Coming through his... Now it's Ryan to the half-forward line. In there quickly, Barrett back to half-forward line. Oh, they might have gone one too many. Down goes Mail. Umpire said play on. Holding the ball. That's the new interpretation. You cannot bring the ball underneath your body as Shell brings it away towards centre wing and lean it.
The big fellow, just defensive side of centre wing. Not many leads off it up forward. He's got to kick the ball high. Hasn't covered a lot of distance. Jason Rowe is in there first and takes an easy and uncontested mark.
Well, Brian, North Adelaide would be certainly seeing him, would be happy to see him back into it. CLISBY, who's been training down with the Crows. He played the first half, and of course Jason Rowe's come in at centre half back for this second half.
As I understand it, Rowe's played just a handful of games over the last couple of seasons. He's had heel injuries and shoulder injuries, and it's good to see him back. That man is dominating Stephen Sims. Got the handball out. He's had 16 possessions. Tasker put it forward, and Peter Bubner takes the mark. Bubner on half-back flank, in toward Painter. Painter running more freely and playing in the centre of the ground. Goes wide to David Walk. Walk through toward the half-forward area. Ryan from behind, but in front, big Reynolds, good mark. Did he play on? He didn't. Umpire said to go back and take the kick. Now he's looking forward. The lead offered by Sherry. The thump away comes. North Adelaide's defence has been superb this evening. May is in there, taps the ball off the ground. It comes back to Josh May again. The short kick goes in. Argus from behind couldn't mark, had to thump away. Big fellow Reynolds is in there. Well, the umpire's in all sorts of strife there. Coming through is Walensky. Walensky the handball across to Painter. Painter short is clever work, and Bastian the mark.
Interestingly enough there, Bucky, you said the umpire was under pressure. He got shirt-fronted twice with players legitimately going for the ball, and he simply couldn't get out of the road.
A little bit different though, Brian. Sturt on that occasion didn't just blast it up forward. They certainly kept control of the ball, and unfortunately for Sturt, Bastian couldn't finish it off.
Yes, Jason Bastian is pretty fit bloke by the looks of him. He's been doing a lot of work with the Crows and is showing it this evening.
Rod Saunders, ex-Essendon reserves player, out towards Turner. Gee, May's got some pace, went past him like he was a signpost. May hooks the ball back to the half-forward line. Argus sets himself, Ryan there with him, thumps it towards Sims. Well done now as Jason Rowe comes through the pack, needs support. Finds it back there in Sanders. He kicks a wobbly kick towards the centre field. Doing it well is Mail, slips it out wide. No, that was young Noonan. Hooked back now by Turner in towards the half-forward line. And waiting his opportunity is Peter Bennett. Peter Bennett only about 40, 45 metres out. Perhaps he'll be 50 when he kicks it. And there's the angle he's looking for. What a beautiful night it is at Football Park. You can't believe the scene from the back of the oval here. Absolutely superb. As Peter Bennett shoots for the lake and puts it up, but I think he's hooked it offline, 1 point only. And North Adelaide move on to now to 10-8. Sturt is 3-10.
Certainly very interesting, boys, to see North Adelaide span out whenever they get the ball across centre. On that occasion, they get hold of the football and big Parsons and Bennett just shoot out to the side, and North Adelaide just look for them, and of course it makes it very hard for the defenders.
Well, big fly by Brett Leanett, couldn't quite take it. In there, Klomp gets it out. Noonan the quick handball away. Klomp is in there working well. Simon Dixon, first game player for Sturt, got the handball out and did it well. Came back toward Graham. He's played pretty well, this young bloke. 7 kicks and 4 handballs. Didn't put the ball a long way. Leanett is in there over the top of the ball again. The handball comes back, eventually ends up with big Parsons, who says thank you very much and pops a big screwy through for a point.
The feature of this evening is the fact that we've got a great crowd here. I would think there's 10, 12,000 people here already, and I think that's marvellous for South Australian football, that patrons should attend the local competition. We know they had magnificent support with the Crows, but I think the crowd here tonight is absolutely superb. I'm sure the South Australian National Football League will think that way as well. Here's a chance now for Sturt through the agency of Wallensky to get the ball clear. Bennett's with him, but the ball trickles out of play. 15 minutes into the second half.
It's very interesting, Ian, to see how far away the umpires are this year. Is there a new rule that the umpires must be further away from the actual pack?
Don't you get me on that one. I'm a friend of the umpires. Whatever they do is okay by me. Adam Saliba hooks it high up in towards full forward, working his way clear as Dittmar. Can't get it out. Shell working hard for the ball. Oh, that's great football, young man. He's played extremely well in the back pocket, an unlikely looking back pocket player, but he drives the ball to the half-forward line. Big leap there, not successful. Saunders through, slips it out now. Barrett's got the ball. Now Klomp's under pressure. Back now to Saunders, off the side of his boot. Having to work hard is young Noonan, coming through McWilliam. Seeks support. Oh, there's no one there to help him. Tasker under pressure, lost the football. A chance now for Sturt to go in short to the half-forward line. Graham to Wayne Johnson. Johnson on the left leg. The Blues go forward, setting himself. Reynolds up the big fellow. Gee, he's grabbed some good marks tonight, and his early season form is excellent. Mark number 4.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mark, and you can see there right on your screen, hands right over the football, and let's hope he can kick a goal.
He's not going to make it. Right up to full forward. Sims back in defence. Cooley gets it out now towards Mail. He'll get it back from Bradley Ryan in the double play. Shoots back towards the half-forward line, and coming to meet it and doing it well there is Tim Perkins, and he's got the ball at centre wing.
Handball away. In fact, it was Trevor Dixon who got it away to Saunders. Saunders now through the centre, long toward the half-forward area. Back there, Bennett's always a danger. Thumped it away. The chance for Dittmar, left boot. Oh, I think he just hit the post. He has. Goal umpire indicates it just snicked the outside of the post. And Michael Dittmar another point. And I correct what I said earlier. He has 4 goals to his credit.
Very, very good player up forward. And he's moved around, and North Adelaide, especially Michael Noonan, will be sitting, well, pretty excited on the boundary, knowing full well he's got a man 6'3", can move around a bit and kick a goal.
Reed, Parsons over the top. McWilliam, Painter, good football, runs it to Scott Field. Field in turn goes to Johnson on the left leg, kicks long. Out for the lead now of Walk, he's got it. Darren Williams it is. Williams at the 45-metre mark. He's looking now, he's got Walk going in. Oh, a short pass comes unstuck. Sims back to Turner. The running player is Saunders. Mark Marshall out wide. Oh, gee, this is loose checking. Noonan now looking in there for Dittmar. Dittmar getting back on the ball, can't quite get it. Oh, he's going to finish up with a ball. He suckers a goal, number 5. What luck. Unbelievable stuff.
Well, Timmy Noonan on that occasion, sure the big fella stopped and then dropped back, and you can see that. Tried to put the ball over the top, and I thought he should have had that one. Reed got right into his middle of his back, but look at that. Number 19 making the mistake, and oh God, what a bad mistake by the big fella from PAC, Simon Dixon. And unfortunately, big fella Dittmar put it through.
Back in the centre, there's the margin. 76 plays 28. It's a pretty big margin. North Adelaide assuming control of this game. David Walk got left boot to ball. Jason Rowe is back there over the top of it. Bubner got it across, and Johnson goes in from behind. The attempted mark or spoil, in fact, it was by Leonard, but he's got the opportunity now for Sturt to go forward through Graham, puts the ball back toward the full forward area. Plenty of North Adelaide Guernseys there. The thump away comes. Working hard is Sims, who's got the ball from Rowe. Rowe backs up again, comes wide to Mail. Did well, the young fellow, looking for Saliba. Equally well was Bastian, who was in there. Picked up by Saunders, who's had a feast of kicks tonight. Kicks toward the centre wing. Bennett is there over the top of the ball. That must be a free kick. The most obvious free kick you could imagine, Peter Bennett. Was just waiting for the push in the back.
I don't like, Brian, that the umpires are 50 metres from the... they couldn't make the right decision when they're 5, so they're going to have a lot of trouble with being 50 metres from the play.
Well, you couldn't argue with that one, big fella. As North Adelaide go forward, Dittmar is the danger. Oh, it's Big McRedden back there. He's taken it on his chest and he's put it through.
What a magnificent bit of play. I know I say it. The Big Redden, who's been on the ball. Parsons has moved into the centre. And Redden, and we saw before the big cut over the eye, but look at this. Just out manoeuvring young Simon, takes it on his chest, puts it through, and brings up North Adelaide's 12th goal. And I thought that Leonard is starting to get on top in the ruck, and I think that's probably the reason that Big Redden went down for a spell. But Sturt haven't been able to maintain that bit of form early, Ian, and it's sort of North Adelaide kicking right away.
Stephen Trigg with his hand on head, and Tony Roach. But I must ask Rick in a little while, he's into the umpires very early this season. You'd think he's still coaching, and he's not giving him a real big go. Johnson on the left leg at the 50-metre back mark, hooks it back. Gee, they're going to have to work hard, but Saunders is there and takes the chest mark quite easily in the end as he goes in short. Out there is Jason Rowe, making a welcome return to football. Has a lot of talent. Bradley Ryan across towards centre wing, having to use his pace, and he's got a bit as Mark Marshall drives long into the pocket, goes Mail, can't quite find it, and it's out of play on the half-forward right flank. Rick, have the umpires upset you in the off-season?
No, they certainly haven't, but the new rule has come out, and I'm only just sort of going on what people have said, that they're going to umpire to the VFL or AFL rules. Now, from what I've seen tonight, there's no different from last year. They're giving the ticky touchwood freeze. They are a lot further away than they were last year. They're at least 30 to 40 metres, and you know, it just doesn't seem to blend in with the AFL way of umpiring.
I think it's only their first game, like some of the players. They're just getting the hang of the idea, and no doubt they'll improve before the season's out. Agreed.
I reckon you're on your own, big fella. Down toward the centre wing. The game is on. Saunders does it well. Barrett, the short pass. Sanders, the mark. And he's about 15 to 20 metres on the forward side of centre. Raised the eyes, had a look out. Bennett from behind couldn't take the mark. In there, Dittmar over the top of the ball, working hard with Shell, who got it out. Dixon, Simon Dixon, got his boot to ball, a high kick, and that's well taken. The mark by Tony Graham, Melbourne Reserves, 22 years of age, gets the handball out wide. Opportunity for Reid. Down toward the centre wing he goes with the kick. That was good body work, well played by Saunders. Probably the best player on the ground in the first quarter. Has been quiet since then, but a very consistent player, Rodney Saunders. He's had 16 touches to this stage in the game. That's good for a defender. That is a pretty easy free kick, Rick.
Well, that's just easy, as Chris McDermott, probably captain of the Crows. I suppose that's only my assumption, but he's certainly looking on here with interest. A beautiful night, and Bennett really is starring up forward.
Yes, he's already taken 11 marks, 16 possessions. Oh, off goes Dittmar. That's perfectly put. Brilliantly done, Peter Bennett. Dittmar provided the opportunity. The space was there. No one tried to cut off the lead, dropping back in defence for Sturt. And once again, Dittmar is going to have a shot for goal. He's already got 5. And just getting back to Chris McDermott, he's been a wonderful player for South Australia, and he would make an exceptional captain of the Crows. Mind you, there's 1 or 2 other candidates that also make top captains, but as you said, McDermott would be an exceptional choice. Got 5. Oh, gee, that's not one of his better kicks. Back in defence was Reynolds. He goes for the safety of the line, and it's a throw-in right adjacent to the behind post. 12-10 to 3-10, and it's very close to three-quarter time. We've played 23 minutes, As I mentioned earlier, the quarters are 20 minutes plus time on, so there's not a lot of time to go. There's the siren, and at the moment it's North Adelaide by 54 points.
Yes, well, a better quarter by Sturt. Started off with Leonard, but towards the end of that quarter, Bennett up forward. They kicked 5 goals to 1, and that tells the story here at three-quarter time.
12-10, 82 North Adelaide. Sturt to 3 goals, 10-28. You're watching Friday Night Football live on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
And welcome back to Football Park at three-quarter time here. The Roosters in control. 12 goals, 10-82. Sturt 3-10-28. A big quarter there by North Adelaide against the Double Blues. And look at the main goal scorers for North Adelaide. DITTMAR 5, a sensational quarter. Parsons and Sims 2 each, and Reynolds 2 for the Double Blues. And Rick Davies looking at the Double Blues, or in fact North Adelaide, Saliba, Turner, Saunders in great touch.
Yeah, they certainly are. There's a lot of young good kids. Young Turner playing his preliminary final last year. He's really kicked on. Young Saliba, of course, came back from the Crows. The early training would have really helped him. And of course, you've got Saunders, who's coming out of that back pocket. His first quarter was very good.
Well, David Mackay's on the bandy, Rick. And David, I thought also from North Adelaide's point of view, Stephen Sims is playing great footy.
KG, it's great at this time of year to see Stephen Sims playing footy. He's normally playing cricket around this time of year. As you know, he's a pretty handy batsman, plays with Gazer. But he's been training pretty hard, I'm told, and last week's internal trial form was pretty good. He's kicked a couple of very special goals tonight, and he really looks like he's setting himself for a very big year.
Well, David, of course, the big thing about Stephen Sims is the fact that he's been injury-prone in previous years, so perhaps this year, if he's fully fit, we'll see a big year from him.
Well, I've been a big rat for Sims, KG, but I've also said over the years I've played with him, he was never fit. He started pre-season training late. I don't believe he ever got himself fit, and as a direct result of that, he was never hard and mean, and therefore he suffered a lot of injuries. This year might well be different by the look of it.
David, I thought that Michael DITTMAR looks very, very good up forward and kicked 3 goals, I think, in that quarter, and he'll be a live wire for North this year.
Well, he's kicked 5 or 6, Rick, and to be frank, I thought Port Adelaide were a little silly letting him go. He's a big fellow, and they always take a little bit longer to mature, and maturing he certainly is. By gee, he looked very, very good. Although I noticed a couple of times his kicking really hasn't been as good as it could. That's maybe an area he needs to work on if he's serious about being a 100-goal full forward this year. But doesn't McNoonan have an ability to be able to pick a full forward out? He turned one big fat fellow into a 100-goal, but maybe he can turn a big streak of misery like Michael DITTMAR into a 100-goal full forward.
And David Mackay, looking at the Double Blues, I thought Reynolds up forward in particular. I thought Lynott in the ruck showed something, and Wayne Johnson across half forward.
Well, KG, the thing about Wayne Johnston, as we all know, is when he goes near the ball, he does something. He either hurts somebody or he creates something. A couple of occasions, and I've just watched him tonight. He's a good mate of mine. He's been there too soon. And Darren Williams on one occasion got the opportunity of passing off to Johnston, who drifted down from the centre. And by the time Darren Williams had made up his mind to pass the ball off, Johnston was covered and came unstuck. And as the players learn his capabilities, I'm sure he'll get better and better. Big Reynolds, I've never seen him this fit, I got to tell you. He looks very good. An early goal in the second quarter must have done an enormous boost for his confidence. It was a 60-metre goal, and he looks particularly fit.
Good evening, David. That's David Mackay. We look forward to an exciting last quarter here, Jumbo, with North Adelaide 12-10, the Double Blues 3-10. Your caller, Ian Day.
At the bounce, North Adelaide 12-10 to 3-10. It looks like the Northerners by how far? Certainly their experience is evident. Their defence is starting their offence, and they are really playing superbly. At the bounce, it'll be Leonard against Redden. Umpire David Weston puts it down. Leonard got up high, got the tap away, couldn't find Painter. He's in there working hard for the ball now. Graham gets it out. A long kick by Painter, back towards the half-forward line. It's well taken back there by Stephen. Riley's back on the turf. He in turn goes for Marshall, high on the best players. Drives long, half-forward line. Bennett sets himself again. Oh, this man is superb. Slips it across to Mail. Mail in turn goes in towards DITTMAR, holds ground. Can't bring this one down. Gee, the pace there of McCarthy is evident. He hooks it out towards the half-back line. Painter's there, Sturt into attack. On the half-forward line, it's Wallensky. Can't bring it down. Rowe there. Wallensky does it well. Looks now for Johnson. Back now to Field. Field on the left, though. Field it is now with the football. Kicks in towards full forward. It's all North Adelaide, but hang on. An FAD, I think it's going to be, and this should be an easy goal for Sturt. Hello, we've got a little bit of a ruckus behind play. Here they come. They're coming from everywhere. Well, the season has only just started, and the boys are at it already. It's a warm night, and it's getting warmer by the moment. Players just getting a little excited. Maybe, Rick, you could pick up what started it all.
Well, I think you'll find that the young fella, the Sturt player there, went to ground, and the North Adelaide fella ripped over the top of him. But you can see there a couple of minutes ago, CLISBY and Scott Field, well, of course, they're training 5 or 6 nights a week, just had a bit of a giggle. And I think you can see here, and I suppose we'll be able to pick this up. Yes, there's the North Adelaide player coming straight in and hitting Scott Field straight on. And for once, I agree with the umpire.
Well, Stephen Riley was the player. Yeah, I thought he was in mid-air, but then again, it's a free kick. We can do nothing about it. And lining up is big Reynolds. And that is an atrocious kick from there.
I think we're about to have the second coming. Rick agreed with the umpire, Bucky.
Well, I think you'll find on that occasion, Big Bluey Reynolds really didn't have any opportunity to get hold of the footy. And, of course, the free kick, he went back. And you usually tend to relax a little bit. On that occasion, the big fella was way astray.
Lean it up high, didn't take the mark, perhaps could have spoiled from there. Picked up by Rowe, around the body. Sims is over the top of the ball, paddles it out. You've got it nowadays with a new interpretation. Taken and handballed inboard by Trevor DIXON. The kick forward by Big Mick Redden into the centre of the ground. Turner does it beautifully, spins out of that, now kicks the ball wide, has seen Parsons on the lead. He's got about 5 or 10 metres, but the big fellow couldn't pick it up off Tony McCarthy's boot and out of bounds on the full. So Tony McCarthy coming in for his first run for the game in this final quarter. Not a lot useful happening for him then. So big Michael Parsons, with 2 goals to his credit. He's a prodigious kick, and he's on a very, very acute angle. He hasn't any leads offering up forward. But Bennett is the target. He's the guy who's going to put his hands around it. He has so often tonight. The big leap by DITTMAR came from behind Bennett over the back of the pack to Barry Shell. Has played well for Sturt, puts the ball out towards centre wing. Well placed. Josh May takes the ball, keeps it in play. Well done, young fellow, down toward the centre wing. In there was Wallensky, left the ball behind, and easily North Adelaide come away through Perkins. Perkins to Saliba, and a good mark. He'll play on quickly, looks across for Marshall. Marshall has got pace and skill. That wasn't one of his better kicks, but it's given the opportunity for Mayo. Noonan was in there, got it back to Perkins. Oh, he ran into heaps of strife. That was a good tackle, holding the ball, and Barry Shell the free kick again.
He's played like a tiger, or maybe should I say a double blue. It's his 10th kick coming out of the back pocket. That's pretty well, or pretty good. And also John Painter starting to get into the game pretty strongly now as well. Onto the outer side, Darren Williams with the ball at centre wing, looks for support, comes back inboard to Bastian. Oh, takes that well, got rid of his opponent, gave Johnson a chance. Here's a chance, Sanderson, open goal. Oh, he got collared, holding the ball. Why did you stop, young man? Well done, Jason Rowe. Lost the football as they come away now through Trevor CLISBY. High to the half-back line. Leonard sets himself, and that's a good mark. Leonard to put the Blues right back into attack, but I suggest you've just seen a classic example of the inexperience of the Sturt side. That will have to be rectified before the season's out. Tim Noonan, Sanders had a fine evening. Mark Marshall, Stephen Barrett checks out of centre wing. Drives the Roosters into attack up towards the half-forward line. Parsons is there, McCarthy through. Back there is Bauer. On his left leg, goes in short. May looks for a run-up. Bubner runs himself into a snooker, gets out of it, needs support. Back to May, under pressure again. Noonan, great tackle. Bubner lines up for the trifecta, still can't get it out. And finally it comes out from Williams. McWilliam out wide, he's going to get the handball. Now Sturt got a chance, Reynolds on the lead, does it beautifully, big fellow, and he's got the mark on the half-forward left flank. He's kicked extremely well this evening. He's about 35, 45 out, 45-degree angle.
Yes, a beautiful pass there by McWilliam, and he makes sure that, Reynolds has kicked himself off to the side, and it was a bit unfortunate.
Off the fingers, it goes through for a point. And it takes the Blues now onto a 3-11. North is 12-10.
We've played just over 5.5 minutes into this final quarter. Trevor CLISBY going back to get the ball. And when I was down in the room prior to the game, I thought this man was only going to play a half, but obviously enjoying himself. He's had a feast of kicks. In defence, that wasn't one of his better ones. He put it wide to Scott Field. Field a long way from goal, about 70-75 metres. Has gone short. Well spoiled away by Noonan. Got in there. Graham the handball out. Gives a chance for Johnson. Has to handball the ball away. In there Marshall. Did it well. Handball across to Barrett. And didn't quite take it with him. In there over the top of the ball is Sanders, again working on the bottom of the pack. Plenty of North Adelaide players. Trenorden got it out, and the kick away from Riley. Into the centre of the ground, thumped away by McWilliam. That's a good spoil, has given Painter the opportunity. He goes long and deep from behind. The chance was there for Reynolds, but in front, Trevor CLISBY again safe.
Typical of the umpires a couple of minutes ago there, Ian, that they let it fight for a couple of minutes. That's what we want to see. We want to see the people earn their free, not the easy one.
Noonan from Barrett goes out wide with a penetrating kick. He did that one well. Finds Dixon, attack side of centre wing. North Adelaide into attack again. Out comes Parsons, the big fellow's going to get a leap. Bubner back and defends, runs into Mail. Can't get rid of the football, and the umpire will call for a bounce. A bounce at the 50-metre mark on the half-forward left flank. Umpire Graham Schutz in charge, with him David Weston in the first game. The first game in the Foundation Cup, and you're live on Nine's Wide World of Sport. And the crowd is superb. I reckon you're getting up towards 15,000-16,000 now. Hooks around the corner. Running to meet it now was DITTMAR. Noonan with a chance, and what he done, he has missed it. And I think the coach may be annoyed.
When you're looking at the North Adelaide side, and I was talking to the coach earlier today, Carlaw, he's missing from tonight's side. He's going to come back. Simmons played in the back pocket, and of course Hill and young Burton, the real speedster up half forward. He's surfing at the moment, so they've still got a couple of players to come back into this side, Brian.
And Mike Noonan showing that he's not unhappy with the way things are going. When you're 12-11 to 3-11 and you've got a good 9-goal break, you can't be unhappy. But as I say, Mike Noonan was treating this very much as a trial. He'd be pleased with his charges this evening. Coming away is Josh May. He got it from Leanett. The kick was high. The opportunity to mark for Rowe, taken off him by Painter. That's good work. Johnson can go long at goal with the left boot and spears it through the centre. That's his second.
Yes, well, he's certainly very sharp up forward. Of course, we've known him over the last couple of years over at Carlton, whizzing into the 50-metre line and popping it through for a goal, and that's real reminiscent of the player. They used to call him the Dominator at Carlton, and there he got hold of the football. Painter, beautiful work. Puts it over to the Dominator and fires it through.
An 8-goal margin in favour of North Adelaide, 12-11 to 4-11 at the bounce. Leanett from the right, Redden from the left. Sent into attack again by Johnson, up towards the half-forward line, dropping back and doing it well. Simon Trenorden played extremely well in that first half. I think he's had a bit of a spell. Finds Perkins, started on the interchange bench. He in turn will go wide to Stephen Stimms, who makes a metre to get there. On the left leg, oh, there's a vacant paddock up here. All they need is a bounce. Going through is Dixon over the half-forward line. Out comes DITTMAR, and he's got it, or has he? Lost it, had it, lost it. Shell does it well again out of the back pocket, goes in short. The kick is not good. North Adelaide should butter up again. Barrett through, gets it out wide. Here's a chance now for Dixon. Hooks into the half-forward line. Bennett over the top, can't bring it down. And coming away strongly now is McWilliam to centre wing.
The running player on centre wing is Walk onto the left boot. The Blues look better as they go forward, looking for Reynolds. Thumped away from him. In there Williams, couldn't take it. Reynolds working hard. Trenorden's in there as well. CLISBY the handball back to that player, and Trenorden has got plenty of time. Didn't really know what to do with it. Well, he had plenty of time. Now he's got rid of it. The run provided from defence by Stephen Riley, and the kick to touch. Out of bounds and almost on centre wing.
Very good play there by North Adelaide, and I think the umpire again, I know I'm criticising, but he let the play go there. A lot of other people would have probably given him an opportunity to get rid of the football.
Boundary throw-in, tap over the back was superb. Sims, very quick, run provided. And Turner goes in toward the half-forward area. Bauer's back there, has got the opportunity to pick up. He had superior pace, Darren Bauer. Got the handball across, wasn't his best, but has found Barry Shell. Shell through the centre wing to half-forward. Nothing in front of him, goes long toward the goal square area forward pocket, and CLISBY spoils the ball away from big Reynolds.
Isn't it amazing, Brian, when you've got a bit of a forward that's starting to get hold of the football, as Reynolds has been over the last quarter and a half, how when the Sturt players now are looking for him. And I think you'll find that's the difference tonight. They've had DITTMAR up front, North Adelaide, and now they've got a bit of a focal point down there in Reynolds.
The lights are on, crowd building. Marvellous scene here at Football Park. Scott Field, as I mentioned earlier, wearing number 18. Tiger Power. Well, we got the wrong game, but I know what they mean. Live on Nine's Wide World of Sport at Football Park. CLISBY, he's been moved on to Reynolds. A bit of experience on the big fellow, who's starting to become somewhat of a force down at full forward. This man's marked well, Leonard. Gets it out now to Sanderson. He's got to go back again. McWilliam drives long, high up towards full forward. Reynolds can't get a start at it. And back there now is Stephen Riley. Riley started on the half-forward line. He's moved back into his more familiar spot, and the umpire's given a holding the ball decision against him, and once again Reynolds has come to the fore. Now, this man is working a lot harder, and I think, Rick, you'd agree with that, than we've seen this boy do previously. Yes,
and I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that he is starting to be a bit of a force up forward, and he really did chase then, and he deserves the free.
David Reynolds, 2 goals to his credit. Looking at an 8-goal deficit. Kick number 7, and that has reduced it to 7 goals. That's his 3rd.
Yes, well, Big Bluey, in the last couple of shots that he's had for goal, of course, he's missed to the right-hand side. I did mention that he's been a little live wire up there. He's about 6'5", standing in front, and you can see there on your screen. Got hold of Stephen Riley, and no way was he going to get away. Deserved the free kick. Went back after missing the last couple and put through a much-needed goal.
Welcome back to Football Park. Back in the centre is the margin, a clear 7 goals, but it's been the Blues who've kicked 2 goals in this final quarter. No reply yet by the Roosters. They go forward. Opportunity. Barrett goes toward the half-forward area. McWilliam didn't hold it long, but has paid the mark. Saliba, his opponent, on that mark, and Paul McWilliam goes short. Bubner decides on going back as opposed to playing on. Now kicks the ball high over the centre toward the half-forward area with his 10th kick. Off the hands it comes. The handball comes out toward Painter. Is that tackle high? Umpire called it to be played on. The handball away to Johnson. He was tackled and couldn't get the ball. And North Adelaide coming away again from defence. Turner's got a lot of poise for a young player. Did it well, eventually out toward Perkins. Perkins goes wide toward the half-forward area. Danger man in Bennett goes short toward DITTMAR, and DITTMAR has taken the mark. And good full forwards will have a shot from there, and he's going to do it.
Bucky, that was Peter Bennett's 14th mark.
Well, that rates him with his 11 kicks and 10 handballs as just about the best player on the ground. He really has dominated. But Michael DITTMAR has been a very good full forward. There's 5 goals to his credit. Left footer, the right side for him. That's coming back beautifully. DITTMAR has 6.
Yes, well, in the background here, Graham Campbell said, you can't kick a goal from that side. That's mine. Michael DITTMAR, first game up, went back and plugged it right through the high diddle, and you can see that. Look at that. Beautiful movement. Went across to the right-hand side, aimed at the right-hand post, and the leg brought it back. A very, very good goal, and North Adelaide shooting away. Go to 13 goals 11 to 5-11.
13-11 to 5-11. DITTMAR kicked a goal from Campbell's graveyard. I saw him out there practicing. He's shooting for goal from that end before the game started. Obviously, he learned something from it. The ball just came back inside. Darren Bauer in defence. Slips it out to a teammate. McCarthy out wide is McWilliam. He's done pretty well, actually. And he's had a lot of players running at him all night. And it's not easy to chase Guernseys. 15th kick finds Bastian centre field. He needs a runner. Gee, I think he's put that runner into a bit of trouble there as Bauer got it away to Johnson. Half-forward line, getting back. Fine mark taken back there by Parsons. Parsons comes out wide centre wing. Marshall works all into the back of Johnson. The umpire didn't see it that way. Marshall again. McWilliam back now to May. May at centre wing. Hooks high to the half-forward line, looking up there for someone to come into the action, but all he can find is Perkins, and the umpire will play that mark at centre-half back.
Tim Perkins didn't hold it long, and they're on the boundary line. Simon Dixon waiting for his chance to come back onto the ground. Number 19, his first opportunity in league football, a former Prince Alfred College student and Teal Cup player. Back in the centre of the ground. Painter got it across to Bastian, the handball into the centre. Sanderson got it across, not where he wanted it though. The umpire's blown the whistle and a player has been tagged without the ball. North Adelaide will get the free kick, and Sanders, or is that Trenorden, has a bit of a problem. Sanders, I think it is. Nevertheless, the ball is on centre wing and North Adelaide go forward again. They've done it well with handball as Sims goes down toward Big Red, and the ball thumped away by McCarthy, comes to ground. The handball goes back to McCarthy, looks for and finds Bubner under plenty of pressure. Oh, the kick off the side of the boot. That was pressure, all right. Stephen Sims takes it, puts the ball back from where it came, from behind. Oh, Big Mick Redden used the body well then, made sure of the mark, across to Bennett. Bennett short, but not the best option on that occasion.
He's had a lot of kicks tonight, Peter Bennett. He certainly looked at the part at centre-half forward in the forward pocket.
Stevens Trigg having his first taste of senior football at Football Park. That's as a coach. And sitting in the bunker there, looks fairly forlorn. I would think he realises he's got a fair bit of work to do, but then again, it's early days. Pace of field, superb. Through the half-forward line. Under pressure, this way, that away. Good support, hooks around the corner. Darren Williams can't get the string. And it's Trenorden who takes it out of play. A throw in on the half-forward right flank. North is 13-11, Sturt 5-11. In fact, it's in the right-forward pocket. Only about 5 metres around, as you can see. Played almost 18 minutes. First game of the Foundation Cup. Parsons gets his hand to the football. I think you'll find a free kick will go the way of Sturt there for a push in the back, and that will be taken by Wayne Johnson. WALLENSKY looking really hot, I would think. Be nice sitting on the grass. Someone brings him a cup of tea. But in the meantime, the action with Wayne Johnson. That's his fourth goal.
Well, that's the idea of a half forward, and Wayne Johnson's been brought across from the Carlton Football Club to kick a few goals. And when you're that close in, you make sure that you put it right through. But the umpires tonight have really made a couple of mistakes as far as I'm concerned up forward. They've allowed themselves to be sucked in, as far as I'm aware. Let Wayne Johnson in for an easy goal there, and North Adelaide looking the goods.
Welcome back to Football Park. The margin 7 goals in favour of North Adelaide. Back in the centre. Bounced down by umpire David Weston, and it wasn't a good bounce, but there were too many North Adelaide players in the centre, according to the boundary umpire. The kick to lean it goes wide toward the half-forward area, picked up by Sanderson. Back to Graham was good. Looking for field now. The opportunity with a loose player set up in the forward area. It's Wayne Johnson. He's kicked 3, lines up, kicks toward the goal square area. That's either a mark or a goal. It's a goal, and Johnson has his 4th.
I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that Wayne Johnson was brought across from Carlton to make sure that the Sturt Football Club can get a bit of scoring potential up forward, and this is what we know he can do. Looking at that, he dropped the ball for the screw punt on the 50-metre line and put screw punt and plonked it through to bring up Sturt 7. They're coming back into this quarter.
Showing a lot more commitment. At the bounce, it'll be Parsons, gets the tap down to the Dominator, gets an awkward kick. Turner for the Roosters, slips it across. Marshall, Saliba, back to Marshall in the double play, has to work hard for that one. North into attack, up towards the half-forward line. Peter Bennett in the action again, looks for the running player, Sims. Off goes Big DITTMAR out in front, beautifully done. Lace out, DITTMAR into the right forward pocket. Beautifully put then by Sims, and that's his 8th mark. Michael DITTMAR never looked like he was going to miss that, and certainly North Adelaide has found a full forward.
Certainly skill play there by Sims. We mentioned that he hasn't lost his nip, but that was beautifully put to DITTMAR.
Kick number 10 for DITTMAR, and he has got it through, and that is goal number 7. Brilliantly done.
Well, there he is on your screen. He'd be pretty happy, and you can see Stephen Sims pushing the ball out to absolute perfection there and giving big Tony McCarthy as the Port Adelaide Football Club come out and go around the boundary. And you can see them all there running around the outside of the ground. Premiers last year. But looking out in the middle of the ground, North Adelaide 7 goals up.
It's a pretty formidable group, and Captain Greg Phillips in front looking pretty happy about being out there tonight. But back in the centre,
half the screen, but
he took up a fair bit of the screen, I admit, as Ian Day told me, behind the scenes. Nevertheless, the game continues. Oh, McWilliam, a big leap from behind. No markers paid. Didn't hold the ball long enough. Barry Shell is just about the best Sturt player this evening. He really has worked hard. And young Josh May has done some good work as well, as he puts the ball down toward the half-forward area. Back there is Jason Rowe, puts the ball to the boundary line. Players are getting a little tired and a little toey by the looks of it. And umpire Graham Shook separating that note.
Actually, it heard between number 49, young Anthony Graham, and Bennett ran absolutely right through him. That was what it was all about, Brian.
End of time on by 2 minutes. North 14-11 to 7-11 to the Blues. Half-forward line for the Blues, but it's Trenorden. Hooks it back towards the half-back line. Bastian up, can't find it. Going in hard now is young Noonan across to Dixon. Parsons on the half-back line. Drives the ball back towards centre field. Looking for it's Marshall. The Bays hit the turf as well. It's going to be a huge match, this second one. Port Adelaide against Glenelg, and the crowd already warming up to the scene. And we must have 19,000 people. Turner gets it away. Sanders in turn, not a good kick. Bubner makes hard work of a simple mark, but takes it at centre half-back. Peter Bubner, playing his first game for the new club. Goes in short for Leonard, set him up. Sanders into the back, but Leonard does it well. Thought about handballing away now, but he goes out to the other side of the ground. It's a long kick out there. Sanderson couldn't take it. Dixon back in defence. Now it's May. Joined out there by Saliba. Aerial ping-pong. Dixon did it well. Needs support. Runs out the handball to the half-forward line. Barrett goes down. Could be a push in the back. That's the way it will roll. And he'll kick North Adelaide in from centre wing.
And the crowd are getting excited here at Football Park with the clash coming up shortly, but nevertheless the game is still on. It's going into the forward line now. Plenty of body work from Bubner and on his opponent in Bennett, who is the best player on the ground, but coming away was Williams. Got it wide. The opportunity now for McWilliam as he goes down toward the centre wing. The mark taken by Scott Field, and he looks to be wanting to play on. Stephen Riley is on his mark. Scott Field to kick the ball in toward the forward area.
Actually, it's amazing, Bucky, because the second game tonight between Port Adelaide and Glenelg seems to have already started. Both sides are on the ground and there's that much cheering going on. I don't think anyone really knows who's playing.
There's the final siren, and North Adelaide 14 goals 11, 95 defeating Sturt 7 goals 11, 53, a margin of 42 points. You're watching Friday Night Football live on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
And coming up shortly, the big game between the Magpies and the Tigers, a replay of last year's grand final. But for now, let's take you to Georgina Thomas for News Update.